Hello, Namaskar and Adab to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan, once more with you from your very own channel Astro Assurance. When we look at our horoscopes and from a perspective of checking which houses rule what signs, we look at which sign is present in which house and where are the rulers of those signs placed, and from that we try to analyze our horoscopes. Now that is a right method and that's what one should do. However, when we want to look at what are the actual energies which are controlling our lives, which are controlling our horoscope and controlling the various events, situations in life, then we need to look at what are the four major energies which are controlling our horoscope. For example, there are only four types of energies, which are the fire, the earth, air and water energies, and three of each are the ones how the horoscope has given us. 3 fire energies, 3 earth energies, 3 air energies and 3 water energies. For example, the fire energies are Aries, Leo and Sagittarius. The water energies are Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces, for example. So if there are three types of each energy, why should all of them rule our lives at the same time? Can the zodiac or has the zodiac nominated just 4 energies to control our entire lives? Because there are 3 types of each energy. So within that, the zodiac should give us and does give us one energy out of them which controls all our lives, and sometimes we are not able to reflect which is those energies. Now the easiest way to look at is how the Navamsa or the Navmansh is calculated. How do we arrive at the Navmansh? We look at what is the ascendant degree. At that ascendant degree, whichever the degree lies at the ascendant, that degree falls in which Navamsa, and that becomes the Lagna of the ascendant of a Navmansh horoscope. For example, if you are born in the Aries sign in your Lagna chart and you are born within the first 3 degrees and 20 minutes, so you are born in the Aries sign, and the first Navmansh is also, or the Navamsa is also of Aries, so then you will be born Vargottama, which means your Lagna chart will also be Aries and your Navmansh chart will also be of Aries. However, if you are born between 3 degrees 20 minutes and 6 degrees and 40 minutes, while your Lagna chart is Aries, but you will be born in the second Navamsa, which is of Taurus, which means the Lagna will be of Aries, however your Navmansh will be of Taurus. So your ascendant degree defines which will be your ascendant of the Navmansh chart based on which specific degree that particular ascendant lies at, and that defines the ascendant of your Navmansh. So that gives you what is the main Lagna sign energies of the Navmansh. However, that also gives you what are the other 4 sign energies of the Navmansh. Say for example, if your ascendant in your Navmansh is of Aries, then automatically the 4th house will have Cancer energies, the 7th house will have Libra energies and the 10th house will have Capricorn energies. And these are the 4 signs which control the entire horoscope and not only the Navmansh. What is the reason? The reason being is, when you look at the Lagna horoscope, for example, if you say you are born in the Aries ascendant at 15 degrees, at 15 degrees of Aries, which Navamsa will you lie in? At 15th degree of Aries, you will be lying in the 5th Navamsa of Leo, which means then your ascendant will become that of Leo in your Navmansh chart. And if you count the 15th degree of each sign from then on, you will find each one of those houses at the 15th degree will have the same energy. So if your second house has Taurus energies, then you will find that your 6th house will also have the Taurus energies at the same degree, and your 10th house will also have the Taurus energies at the same degree, which means that the second house, the 6th house and the 10th house will be ruled by the same sign. Whichever sign you will find the second house is falling in, The same sign, the 6th house and the 10th house energies will also fall in. Whatever is the degree of the 3rd house based on what is the degree of the ascendant, the same degree of the 3rd house, whatever the energies are, the same energies will also be carried by the 7th house, and the same energies will also be carried by the 11th house, and so on for the 4th house, 8th house, also the 12th house. So if your 4th house is at 15 degrees of Cancer, the 15 degrees of Cancer is Scorpio energies. Then the 15 degrees in your 8th house will also have Scorpio energies. If you look at the 15th degree in Scorpio, you will find 15 degree of Scorpio is also Scorpio. And then you look at the 15th degree of the 12th house, which is Pisces sign, for example. If you are born in the Aries ascendant in the Lagna chart, then the 15th degree in Pisces will also have the Scorpio energies. So whatever is the degree of one earth sign, the same degree of the other earth sign and the third earth sign will be similar, will lie in the similar Navamsa. Whatever is the degree of the air sign, the same degrees of the other two air signs will also be in the same Navmansh or the same Navamsa. Which means if the first house is controlled by a fire energy, that too of a specific type, say for example Leo, then your 5th house and 9th house will also be ruled by fire energies and by the same sign, which is Leo. Which means if the Lagna is ruled by the Leo signs at a specific ascendant degree, then the 5th house and then 9th house will also be controlled by the same type of energy. So if Lagna is of Lagna ascendant degree is ruled by Leo sign, then the 5th house and the 9th house, whichever sign they are in, they at that specific degree of the Lagna, when you calculate at the 5th and the 9th house, have the same type of energy. Same thing for the 2nd house, 6th house and 10th house, same thing for the 3rd house, 7th house and 11th house, and same thing for the 4th house, 8th house and the 12th house. The same sign energies will control all these specific energy, the specific houses, and hence the Navmansh, whatever are the 4 Kendras of the Navmansh, those are the ones which are ruling the entire horoscope, and not just the 4 Kendra houses in the Navmansh. The 4 Kendra houses of the Navmansh tell you what are the 4 types of energies which are controlling your entire horoscope, entire life, because those 4. So if in the Navmansh you also are Vargottama Lagna, for example, the first houses are controlled by Aries, then the 5th house and the 9th house will also have the Aries energies. The 5th house from any Kendra house will have the same energies. So the 5th house from the Kendra house, which means the 5th and the 9th house will have the same energies. The 5th house from the 4th house, which means the 8th house and the 12th house will have the same energies. So if the 4th house has Cancer energies, then the 8th house and the 12th house will also have Cancer energies, if your 4th house is of Cancer. If your 7th house is of Libra, then the 11th house will also have Libra energies, and your 3rd house will also have Libra energies, rather than any other energies. And that's the secret of the Navmansh. The Navmansh Kendras are telling you what are the 4 types of energies which control your entire life. If you want to do a study, if you want to do an analysis, go and check out in your Lagna chart, whichever is the ascendant degree, at that particular degree, in the 2nd house, at that degree, which Navamsa falls. Then at the 3rd house, which at the specific degree, which Navamsa falls, and then calculate the specific Navamsa. You will end up with only 4 Navamsas out of all the 12 Navamsas. The same Navamsas will get repeated again and again. For the 2nd house, whatever Navamsa you end up, the 6th house will also give you the same Navamsa at the specific degree, and the 10th house will also give you the same Navamsa, the same sign of the Navamsa at that particular degree. Which means the Navmansh is telling you those 4 energies are the ones which are controlling your entire horoscope. And so this is very, very important. There are only 4 types of energies which are demonstrated by the Kendra houses of the Navmansh or the Navamsa, which are telling you which are the main sign energies. The same sign energies will control your 5th house from each Kendra house, and that's how you should analyze those houses as well. So let's jump into an analysis of a gentleman by the name of Vijay Mallya, very infamous person. Earlier he was very, very famous because he was the chairman of United Breweries. He also established many other companies like the airline like Kingfisher. Then he also had a Formula 1 race car driving team. He would also come out with a yearly Kingfisher calendar, the swimsuit calendar, and he was very, very well known for a very flamboyant life. However, he was misled and many of his decisions went down. Let's look into his life and also give a closer perspective of his Navamsa, so that we are able to calculate why certain decisions went wrong and what are the 4 controlling energies which helped him rise to the top, which also brought his downfall. Why I have selected Vijay Mallya? Because his Lagna is that of Vargotama Lagna, which means the same Lagna which he has in the Lagna chart, the same Lagna he also has in the Navamsa, which makes it easy for us to analyze his life. So let's jump into the horoscope of Vijay Mallya and then see how similar energies, the 4 main energies, have both brought him the huge success and also brought his downfall, where today he is in the UK waiting to be extradited to India because he owes money to the public and many companies and many banks in India. So let's jump into the horoscope and analysis of Vijay Mallya's horoscope. Okay, this is the horoscope of Vijay Mallya. If you see, his Lagna is that of Aquarius and it is a Vargotama Lagna, which means in his Navamsa chart he also has the same Lagna, that of Aquarius. And because he has the Aquarius Lagna, then the second house will obviously be Pisces, third house will be Aries, fourth house will be Taurus, and so on, which are similar to or the mirror image of his Navamsa chart. However, his Navamsa will obviously have the planetary placements in different signs. Now his moon is in the Nakshatra of Shravana, which is ruled by itself. So moon becomes a very important planet in his horoscope. And moon, if you see, is in the 12th house in the Capricorn sign in the Lagna chart. However, it is placed very strong in the 4th house in an exaltation sign of Taurus, which is a very important thing for him. His Lagna has Rahu and Saturn in a Shrapit dosha in the 10th house and in the sign of Scorpio, which shows that his life concerned with his work, his career, will go through huge ups and downs and will be clouded by the Shrapit dosha, which eventually brings him down. And if you look at the Navamsa chart, while Rahu is in the 10th house in the Scorpio sign in the Lagna chart, in the Navamsa chart Rahu rules the Lagna itself, which means his Navamsa chart or most of his energies, life energies, are controlled by Rahu, which gives him huge hunger and greed and also misleads him in many of his actions. Jupiter is retrograde in the Lagna chart in the sign of Leo, and Jupiter to a large extent in the 5th house in the Navamsa chart also catches some of the Leo energies because it is in the 5th house. And very important thing is that his ascendant is that of Aquarius and ruled by the nakshatra of Satabisha, and we know Satabisha nakshatra is ruled by Rahu, which means his ascendant is ruled by a nakshatra ruled by Rahu, and Rahu goes into the Lagna in the Navamsa chart. That's how he leads his life. Now I had stated that whatever is his degree of his ascendant, which is at 14 degrees and 5 minutes at Aquarius, if you calculate the same degree in the 2nd house in Pisces sign and then the same 14 degrees in the 3rd house in Aries sign and then the 14 degrees in the 4th house in the Taurus sign, all of them will end up with the same energies, which means his Lagna, his 5th house and his 9th house will have the same energies, ruled by the same sign. So here it is ruled by an air sign because the Lagna is of Aquarius, so the 5th house and the 9th house will also be ruled by the same air signs of Aquarius and not that of Gemini or of Libra. So when you calculate 14th degree of each one of these signs, you will find that 3 signs of the Lagna chart will lie in the Aquarius Navamsa, 3 signs will lie in the Taurus Navamsa, 3 signs will lie in the Leo Navamsa, and 3 signs will lie in the Scorpio Navamsa. And this is not guided by the Lagna chart but the specific degree of the Lagna, and that has arrived at by the Navamsa. These two could have been different, but they have ended up because of being Vargotama with the same sign energies, which means his entire life will be ruled by Aquarius, Taurus, Leo and Scorpio signs. So let's see in his Navamsa chart how his life has turned out because of being ruled by similar signs across the horoscope rather than only in the Kendra houses. So we said that whatever is the sign energy of the Lagna in the Navamsa chart will also rule the sign energies of the 5th and the 9th houses. Whichever is the sign energy of the 4th house, which is the Taurus sign, will also rule the trine houses from it. The trine house from the 4th house is the 8th house and the 12th house. So because the 4th house has Taurus energies, so the 8th house and the 12th house will also have Taurus energies. Then whatever is the sign of the 7th house will also control the signs of the 3rd house and the 11th house, because the 7th house is Leo energies, so the 3rd house and the 11th house will also have Leo energies. And whatever is the sign energies of the 10th house of Scorpio sign will also be the sign energies controlling his trine houses from the 10th house, which are the 2nd house and the 6th house. So let's analyze his life by virtue of similar 4 sign energies of the Kendra houses of the Navamsa also controlling his other houses. Now the Lagna itself is controlled by Rahu energies, also by the Satabhishak energies, and so Rahu is the guiding factor in his entire life. And because his 5th house and the 9th house also have the similar energies, what does this mean? It means not only his life ruled by Rahu, but Rahu also controls the similar energies of the 5th house and the 9th house. Now what is the 5th house about? The 5th house is about doing what you like to do, what you love to do, and also shows upheavals in his careers, constant changes in his career, because the 5th house is the 8th house from the 10th house. But his 5th house also has the similar energy that of Lagna, which is Aquarius energies. What is Aquarius? Aquarius is the sign of the 11th house of social network circle, having huge ideas, big ideas, wanting to establish something large scale on the world level, at a mass level. So his 5th house, or what he likes to do, what he loves to do, was also guided by doing something large, something huge. However, because Mercury is strongly placed in the Gemini sign here, his power of analysis was overshadowed by Rahu, which is the same controlling energy, because Rahu also aspects his 5th house and his 9th house, because of which his huge aspirations to do something huge led to his downfall. Also because his Jupiter is retrograde in his Lagna chart. So the constant upheavals or downfall in his career were led by the Rahu energies, led by the Aquarius aspirations of the 11th house. Same thing in his 9th house. What is his 9th house? The 9th house of actual Libra energies, but the overarching energies that of Aquarius, which means even when he was learning, even from his gurus or his role models such as Richard Branson, he wanted to do something big, huge, extra large, and his learning from also his gurus was to do something big, was to do something extra large. However, in doing that extra large, he was misled by his Rahu energies, and because the Rahu energies control the 9th house of learning, what he learned from his gurus, but in the basic sign energies of Libra, of relationships. So even in his relationships, he was guided to dream big and to utilize his relationship even with his gurus to do something large, extra large at a world level. Now what are his 4th house energies? The 4th house energies are that of Taurus, and hence he had a lavish lifestyle. He had big houses, big bungalows. He lived in the Kingfisher Villa in Goa. However, his 4th house being ruled by Taurus, which means money and the flamboyance reflected in his lifestyle, in his lavishness. But at the same time, his 8th house also has Taurus energies, which means his downfall, his biggest obstruction, his biggest obstacle in life would be not being able to garner enough money, and money will become the biggest obstacle and the reason for his downfall also. And money will also eventually lead to his biggest losses and eventually even getting into jail, where he is trying to keep out of, but eventually he will land into a foreign country being chased by money and chased by losses, and eventually law and authorities is and grappling with law and authorities to keep himself out of jail because of money, because of Taurus energies here of the 12th house, his life will become an adventure of downfalls. Then his third Kendra house, which is the 7th house, has the Leo energies. So if you see his married life, his first marriage, because of Ketu being placed here, broke off within a few years. However, Saturn in the 7th house also promises stability, and hence his second marriage can be seen as most successful, and hence he has been married to the same person for almost 28 years now, because Saturn gives him stability. However, in his marriage he has the Leo energies, where he tries to control others, he also shows leadership, he also shows arrogance, and he also wants to do his bidding. And because the 5th house from the each Kendra house has the same energies, and so the 11th house also has Leo energies. What is the 11th house? 11th house is the house of worldly success, societal connections, network connections. So even in his societal network connections, he was a lion having Leo energies. He tried to control others, he tried to lead others, he tried to manage others. And because Venus is also placed here, so in his societal life he tried to also lead others, have a life of flamboyance, brilliance, coupled with his relationship with the opposite gender also. So he has been known to keep the company of a lot of beautiful women, and in his societal parties, in his Kingfisher calendar, in his various endeavors, he was always seen in the company of beautiful women in his societal connections, in his societal appearances. But because the 7th house, which has Leo energies, is also what controls his 11th house, and the 7th house has Saturn and Ketu, and so this also leads to his downfall because of this dosha, where his leadership is also put into question, his flamboyant life is also put into question, and eventually leads to his downfall because of the basic energies of being that of Sagittarius, being too adventurous, being too fun loving, and without thinking twice jumping into or leading himself into challenges. And the same energies are also seen by the 3rd house. What is the 3rd house here? Sun is seen exalted in the 3rd house. However, even his 3rd house has Leo energies. So Sun is strong here, which brought him awe because of his self-endeavor, self-enterprise, his hard work. He took the company which he inherited from his father to heights because of his aspirations to lead, because of his aspirations to succeed. So he put in a lot of hard work and effort. Eventually, in the 3rd house of also self-enterprise or business, and became a successful businessman, a successful leader. But his biggest downfall was also because of the 4th Kendra house, which rules the 10th house, where Scorpio energies are seen. Because the 10th house also is the money house in the Navamsa chart, here Scorpio energies ruling his career and money, which means his biggest obstacles in his career came from the Scorpio energies of sudden obstacles and upheavals, eventually leading to his downfall. And because the 5th house from the 10th house also has the same energy, so the 2nd house of money, earning, savings also has Scorpio energies. And though Mars placed here gives him the high energy, his high focus to earn money, but because of Scorpio being placed here, his money, his savings will all go through a downfall, because his 10th house is getting connected to the 2nd house of money, savings and earning. And the same energies are also coupled with this 6th house. The 6th house is the house of competitors and those people who are your enemies or your competition, and court cases. So his 6th house shows court cases brought on by his career led by the Scorpio energies, and also Scorpio is also the energies of sudden obstacles, sudden issues, challenges, and the 6th house of court cases is led by his career and his money making or money losing ability, and eventually getting into courts and losing in the courts because of Scorpio energies ruling that house. So friends, when you look at the specific degree of the Lagna in your horoscope and you check out the same degree in each of the houses, you will also end up with only the 4 sign energies of the Navamsa, which will coincide with the 4 Kendra energies of the Navamsa chart. So the 4 energies of the Navamsa chart, the Kendra energies, also rule the entire horoscope, entire life. And so when you look at specific events of your life, whether it is marriage, whether it is education, whether it is your career, you will find that the same energies will control the trine houses, which are the Kendra houses energies, and they will from time to time also reflect in the decisions, in the situations that you face, in your successes and also your downfall. So look deeply into which are the 4 main sign energies which are shown by your Navamsa, which are also controlling various events and other houses in your Lagna chart and various events in your life, and basis that prepare yourself well, save yourself from downfall, challenges, issues, obstructions which are coming in or which you may face. Look at the doshas which are giving you those challenges, and also look into the yogas which will be giving you those opportunities, and be careful where the malefics are showing a high energy, but also make use of the better placement in the Navamsa and the 4 sign energies, how they coincide with your Lagna chart. So friends, like this video, share this video, and if you're looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me at the links given below. Till some other time with some other video, this is your friend astrologer and guide Irfan signing off.